Up, I think. I am what I am. I will be what I will be. Create what I create, or I am the
And
existence.
we are live. Hey,
Hi.
everybody.
Hello. Wow, so many beautiful people here.
Yeah, wow.
I am what I am. I will be what I will be. Create.
We've got Angelica, Shanice, Stu, Rachel, Vegan Vixen. Vixen, I want to get your thing figured out so we can get you on here because we really missed having you. But we'll get it figured out. We will get it figured out.
Yeah, we we did miss speaking to Vegan Vixen because she's such a great contributor. And look at everyone in the rooms, just Angelica, Susan, wow.
Barbara, Stu, Elias, Spartan,
Yeah, Lisa Cried
Rachel,
Freedom, Lisa with
Andrietta,
her great YouTube
Raquel,
channel. Don't forget Lisa Cried Freedom YouTube and Rachel.
Q347745 Anthony.
Yeah, Q347745 Anthony is very very wise fellow. I love having him here. So Coach Kathy, wow, what a
Chinese,
great, and Amy.
Amy,
Oh wow, Amy three
Angelica,
three
Winnie,
three.
Roxanne, Chinese. What?
Amy, we love you. Amy, I think Amy was the first to send a donation to get the playing card. So I said to Amy that we'll get one set for us and one for the dogs. So they can play. They can play while we play. So
They would eat them.
yeah, well, there's different kinds of playing.
Yeah, that's true. We won't give them to the dogs.
Yeah, so today is a special day before y'all's born day, but it's anniversary of the start, the beginning of the plan when Junior first died.
The first death.
Yeah, the first time.
You don't get to heaven unless you cross the barrier of hell. So you got to die a first time. It's born again. And just for everyone, again, you see how organized society is always around the truth, but they never tell the truth. So born again Christians is entirely the truth, and that's why the passage in Matthew of Jesus speaking to Nicodemus, one of the elders of the church, and Jesus is just saying, if you can't even wrap your head, because Nicodemus is going, well, how do I get back? I'm a 65-year-old grizzled man now. How do I climb back into my mother's womb? And Jesus is just like, if you can't figure out the physical truths that I'm trying to give you, how are you ever going to be able to work out any of the metaphysical truth that I attempt to share? You're never going to get it. So born again is this process of willingly dying of the left brain. This is where you choose God, and you just simply say, you've given me free will. I've tried it out for 30, 40, 50, 60 years, and it is a crap show. And you sit upon high in all moments and created everything. I'd like that. I'd like that. I'll just partake of that. And that's what this is all about. That's solely what this story is all about, is just letting go, the leap of faith, and then you jump from the left brain into the right brain. And you're going to make it. You're going to make that jump. And you need to know that you're going to make that jump. And that is that leap of faith. That's in the Batman movie. It's everywhere. It's everywhere because it's the one story. And it's beautiful. So July 16, 1999, if anyone thinks that the Clintons outfoxed, if you think that they outfoxed JFK Jr., then you just don't have a lot of faith in this process. And
There
you're,
was a day we thought maybe you should.
for sure, because that's right, because we were not awoke to it. But once you know better, you do better, and you do better with your thoughts as well. So what we're finding is that John F. Kennedy Jr., Donald Trump, these are very intelligent people, part of a very intelligent group that are connected to God. The Clintons don't outfox these people. They outfox the Clintons. This is, and again, it's amazing because Sinead's lawyer, who's a really wonderful fellow, really is. was literally talking to us today about the art of war. And this is such an important little treatise that each of you, and Justin put it up on his
Link.
link,
Sure.
and so it's there in a PDF form for everyone, and it is a very, very, because it's a book of life. How we have to be all in for God, and we must win because we're fighting evil in all moments. And you keep your friends close, but you keep your enemies close to the vest. And so these are very intelligent people, and the things that have happened just this past week, are finally at a stage where now the weight of these actions of free men and women across this earth are going to dictate to the Q team, not the Q team dictate to us. We are going to dictate to them. And if what is being said is true about London, that there's going to be a group north of 1 million people that are going to ascend upon the Parliament buildings, and they're not going to leave. And what I've been sharing to lots and lots and lots of our beautiful friends in the UK is that if you do this, you will take down the cabal in the UK. It will collapse because they cannot exist. They have very few resources left to them. This smoke and mirrors system that's being held in place by band-aids and rubber glue. It's all going to collapse if you descend upon the parliaments, disrupt operations, and you refuse to leave. And we're talking about in the millions. The organized society in the UK will collapse. You will have done it. You will have done it, and it will collapse. And then you will begin this process that will then become dominoes, and every other country. You see what's happening in Paris, you see what's happening in Greece, you see what's happening in South Africa, Canada, the United States, Cuba. There's no mistake. There's not enough food in Cuba, and all the bakeries are closed down. It's a good thing. Well, the bakeries are closed down, and now the Cubans are on the streets in Havana, and they're just saying, we've had it. We've been played for far too long, and this is it. So it's happening on an earth-wide scale, and it must be led by us, because if it isn't, then we're just lemmings, and somebody save us, anybody, just save us, please. No, we are the most powerful creations, and we have to do this for ourselves. So we will dictate to the Q team when this plan kicks into high gear, and we're doing it. So congratulations to everyone, and we're proud of you. We love you very, very, very much.
Yep. And as Q's always said, August is traditionally a very hot month.
Bring it. We're
So
ready.
it's heating up. It's heating up.
Literally heating up. In Canada, they're having a heat wave. It was like 39. It's supposed
Yeah.
to be 39 here tomorrow. So Mexico, Canada, kind of interesting.
Crazy. And did everyone see the picture I posted on MeWe yesterday of little baby Donald Trump? How
So
adorable! I can't. That picture came from Ghost Ezra, and I've never seen that photo before. But one of the things, and you may think that this is a small thing, but it isn't. But one of the big things with the cabal is that they don't have pictures like that of their kids because they're not normal families. Their kids are born and raised in vampiric torture chambers and dungeons, so they don't have those kind of shots. So that's a beautiful picture and a telling picture of the kind of child that he was and the kind of family that he grew up into. So they've always had God in the center of the dial, and that's what we're dealing with. So that's a beautiful golden child, like you are beautiful golden children. And that's why we resonate with Trump, and that's why Trump resonates with us, because we're golden children and we connect to God. And it's exciting, folks. I'm very, very, very. I feel in so many ways, Colleen and I have made this leap and this jump a long while ago, but to see everybody else now so solidly, and virtually anything that we're sharing with you anymore. We're so proud of you because you've come so far so fast. And we're just pleased beyond description at how far you've come and how fast you've come, and it's exciting moving forward. It really is. I know there's a lot of horrible stuff, but it's exciting. And also, I posted yesterday, Michael Jackson. Somebody revealed that one of his insiders revealed that Michael was a huge Adolf Hitler fan and a collector of Adolf Hitler memorabilia. And
not something he probably made public.
Not that's right. That's right. Yeah, exactly. So it's interesting. So you have Joe Kennedy and President Trump and Michael Jackson that are all admirers of Adolf Hitler.
And you think about the outfits he used to wear.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just like, oh, it's interesting. It's very.
He used to wear the red armbands,
or sometimes white. Yeah.
All the time and stuff, and
very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, well, are we ready to start bringing on the guests? Let's do it.
Summer breeze.
Whoa, summer breeze, nice. John Anthony's here. Wonderful, Liz. Yeah, you bring them on, Justin. We love. That's the favorite part. JC Razo. Good afternoon, beautiful freak family. Good afternoon, Mr. Ray the L. Hello.
Hi, Robert.
Hi, Robert.
Hey, Robert. Connecting to audio.
Can you hear us?
He's still connecting to audio.
And really quickly in the chat room, Mark is asking, Charlie, do you still believe 107 Junior? 107 definitely at one point, maybe one time or whatever, was that. This is when you read The Art of War by Sun Tzu, you'll understand more of how Kalina are able to see all of these things. And it's the art of deception, and you have to, because you're fighting evil. And so John F. Kennedy Jr. was at one point all of these characters, but he no longer is. So,
Robert, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Beautiful. We can hear you as well. Welcome, brother. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, if I'm a little incoherent, it's pretty early here. Yes.
Well, thanks for the dedication. Thanks for hopping on so early for us.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
No problem.
Where are you from, Robert? Because it's I think it's 5 a.m. in Sydney.
Yeah. I'm on the border of New South Wales and Victoria, so I've got the shit show coming from both angles at the moment.
Yeah,
they're having a contest to see who can be the most stupid premier.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? Again, they are, and it's all scripted, and it's all being done on purpose. And at this point, I posted earlier today, and it's true. At this point, for the people that don't see this, I feel embarrassed at this point for them, because it's beyond obvious. Even if you've never watched the takedown of the Cabal from A to Z, and it's all a movie and stuff, even if you didn't know any of that, at this point, if you don't get that they're just pushing and pushing and pushing to the point of pushing you until there's nothing left to push, I feel embarrassed for you, because it's so obvious.
Truly is. Yeah, it's just the movie's getting more ridiculous.
Yeah, we've been we're a small city here. We're about 100,000 between, and we've got a border that runs down the middle of the city. So, yeah, we got people working, living in New South Wales, working in Victoria, and vice versa. And you go to the supermarket here, and there's 99% of the people still wearing a mask. Signing in, you got to sign in to go to a supermarket. So, and I've never worn a mask. I've never signed into anywhere. You just got, all you have to know, the Privacy Act here protects people against, if you've got an exemption for wearing a mask, you just have to, you quote the Privacy Act. Yep. You can't ask me that question. You can't ask me about my medical history. and that's covered in the Anti-Discrimination Act as well. You cannot be discriminated against or denied entry to somewhere on the grounds of your past medical history. So really, if people all stand up and say, what if everyone in the country said, I have a medical exemption, and they took their mask off? No one can ask.
Yeah, I wouldn't, I mean, you honestly wouldn't even have to go the medical exemption route. Just say,
Yeah.
I'm a child of God. Don't tell me what to do,
That's right.
Piss
You
off.
don't.
It's hilarious. And it's your country. These are all your nations under God, and it's so funny because they are representing you, and in the constitutions, and this includes the Commonwealth as well. In these constitutions, you all have not only the right but the obligation against enemies, foreign and domestic, if they usurp your basic rights. It's your country. So it's like the medical exemption is slam dunk. I mean, just stay away from me. You can't do these things. But the flip side is, of course, is that this is your earth in a tie with everybody else. We all co-own the earth, and it's like, you're going to tell me that I can and cannot do something. This is you should really be on TV. Maybe you can make a comedy album or something, because this is funny.
It is, yeah. Yeah, what a way to make a statement, and you're not being belligerent or anything. You just, I've got a medical exemption. What if 25 million people do that? It's so easy.
Yep, we've always had that choice. We just haven't taken it.
Yeah.
Colleen, you're muted.
And we still haven't figured out that the fact that these tiny little material masks will keep a deadly virus away from us. Like, if it was really a deadly virus, we'd be wearing that full-on mask.
The boy in the bubble.
It would be ridiculous. So
Yeah.
people can't figure this out yet is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. That's how dumbed down we are. That's how scared and naive we are. And so it just baffles my mind that we're still at this point, but not for much longer, I think. Methinks.
Yeah, certainly things are ramping up. It's the atmosphere. It's very heavy here. The energy is so heavy, and you could feel that even a couple of days before the latest lockdowns came into place. You could feel something was going to happen.
Yeah, it's so biblical, isn't it? I mean, the Bible talks about the intensity of these demons as being so intense you could cut it with a knife, and that's, I think, what a lot of people are feeling now is that tension everywhere, and you just have to break through to the other side, said Jim Morrison, and that's precisely all you need to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, brother, what you got a question for us for today?
I have. Yeah. At first, I thought you guys had probably answered all my questions, but that was me thinking out of my left brain. But when I let it just let it go, I thought, okay, I've got 3 teenage kids, and one is about to turn 18. And she's got a twin brother and sister who are about to turn 16. So I thought, okay, when they're kids, you are responsible for them. You're responsible for helping them make good decisions, and you're looking after them before they go out into the world. So when they turn 18, they're responsible for what's the decisions that they make, and even their karma going forward. So my question is, apart from the fact that we're on a flat, non-rotating Earth and that we can't land on a moon and things like that, apart from that, what advice would you give to kids as they move into adulthood in this climate that we're in?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, just to take a quick stab at it, I mean, if you, I would argue that the responsibility for our actions is much, much earlier than 18 or what's been designated by organized society. So it's really from day one, as soon as you can actively communicate with a child, that's the main thing that we should be teaching as parents. We don't really need to teach them anything else other than to impart this empathetic morality from what we've learned throughout our lives, and to demonstrate what is the difference between right and wrong. What is karma? What are the repercussions for not exercising that right and staying within that? So it's not. I mean, I would wager you've done a fantastic job, just given how you are, and the fact that you're drawn to a show like this. I imagine you've done an amazing job imparting that sort of wisdom onto your son. But I wouldn't say there's any difference between now and that moment, other than just you won't have as much direct contact. So just to impart that, like, I've left you all that I know. Here's some of the teachings that you can discover for yourself to expand further onto it. But ultimately, it's a free will choice and that's where we have to let go of all that control and all that desire to steer, because ultimately it's up to them to choose how they go about and what path they're going to walk, and it's not for us to decide for them. So that's my quick little take on that one.
Thanks, Justin.
Yeah, great thoughts, Justin. Very, very authentic and true. And that was a great question. And just the biggest thing for our children is to for everyone really to realize that everything has to change. That the way we've been doing things is precisely wrong. And living in cities, there's just no reason to live in cities other than to be slaves. That's why you have the British Land Acts back in the late 1700s, and they talk about this just so that all of these rich nobles and counts and dukes could solidify their lands in one area. That's a big, huge lie. What that was is the greatest land theft in history, and that was all across Europe. And what they did is they took the free land away from the people and they put it in the hands of a government. And then you needed money and you needed a place to live. And the only place that they were giving jobs were in these new creations called cities. There's the history, and it isn't true. And so they force people off the land and into these cities. And the cities are demonic, and they're there for one reason, and one reason only, and that is to keep you living and surrounded by sin. And Jesus Christ taught us to get up, stand for ourselves, and go forth and sin no more. And that's all you have to do, is go forth and sin no more. And that is ahimsa, and that is satyagraha. Seek the truth and cause no harm in any shape or form to any living creation. And so for our children moving forward, that's it. We need to get out of the house. We need to fit them with backpacks, and we need to say, and especially in a country like Australia, you're blessed with the connection to the AB originals, the Aboriginals of the father and the mother, AB, and first go and visit and partake and learn, and then when you've learned what you can learn, then it's time to move again, and it's endless. It's just endless, and that's why you can't. There has to be something wrong about this dying at 60 business, because it isn't enough time to do any of the stuff that we need to do. Just to be able to go and visit everyone across the earth is going to take a good 500 years to do. So we have to be born with 1,000 years. You have to, because there isn't enough time. Does God strike you as the type that would do this to us? Give us faulty genes, faulty hearts, faulty organs, or are we poisoning ourselves? I mean, just keep blaming God and see where that's going to get you, versus take responsibility for yourself. So get out of the house. Mums and dads, I know you love your children, but you set them on a path, and now let them go and let them journey and let these beautiful children travel this earth, and we learn and you learn and you share, because inside of you is your wisdom, and the more you learn, the more wisdom that will come to you. And then when you return home, when you return back home, you're not even close to the same person that you were before, and you're ready to move mountains without even lifting a hand.
And when man becomes kind, when those children go forth into the rest of the earth and they're visiting other people, like Eugene is here and Justin came, and they're like our sons, and so it's like we are their parents in a way. We give advice, we love, and they give us so much advice, and it's a beautiful exchange of energy. So it's just wonderful having new souls coming in and sharing that with us too. So it's a win-win situation when we give forth our best and others come forward and share all of that. It's just wow. It's really, really beautiful. Sorry.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. That's great advice. I know at least my son will be watching. He wants to see Dad make a fool of himself on here. So yeah, that's great advice. I hope he listens to that advice going forward. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me on here. Yep.
I just wanted to say that the one piece of advice that I would give to anybody at that age is not just question everything, but know that it's each individual's responsibility to find the answers for yourself. So, you know how people can say, "Oh, I'm just following orders. I know they were wrong orders, but I was just following the orders." It is our responsibility to do the right thing, regardless of where we're at. So, you know, when someone's learning something, even from us, you need to do the research, because you're the one that's responsible for all of it, and to disseminate all of it for yourself so that you understand it completely. It's all about the individual's responsibility. So that's what I would give for advice, is just, even though your parents are well-meaning and everything, we're well-meaning, you need to take it and do the work yourself, because nobody can do the work for you. You have to do it, and then it's solidified inside of you, and then you become the regenerated man. Nobody can do it for you, so do the work yourself.
That's beautiful, Colin. That's so true. And just to quickly follow up on that, I guess that's what we just share with all of our kids moving forward is simply this, that it's your responsibility to become your own doctor. It's your responsibility to be your own dentist. It's your responsibility to be your own spiritual teacher. It's your own metaphysical healer. You have to become your own teacher. You have to become everything for yourself. This is about becoming the master, going from the apprentice to becoming the master. It's what the Bible teaches. And
laziness is slothfulness.
Slothfulness is one of the 7 deadly sins. It absolutely is. And the reason is because you must be a new world man, as Rush sang. And it's so true. You have to be responsible for you. Because if you don't, look what's happened. Everything is a lie, and the food that we eat is killing us, and the medicine that we take is killing us. Science is just purely lying to us. They've got us believing in a spinning, rotating, wobbling ball, and they've just exorcised God out of everything. So, and there are the kids today just worship science and jokers like Neil deGrasse Tyson. No, and this is very important about these words: understanding, overstanding, and it's why we pioneered this and we take it so seriously. You only ever understand. You only use the word understanding in one situation, and that's to God. That's the only creation that we stand under, because that's what understanding means. It means that you stand under, and you only stand under God, and proudly, because He's the creator. You stand under no other man. So with everyone else, you have to have understanding until you master what it is that they are saying, or the exchange of energies between you, and then that's overstanding. And remember, everything in the Bible teaches you, Jesus Christ teaches you to become sovereign man. How do you spell sovereign? What is the beginning of sovereign? The sine wave of the mother rising over. Overstanding. Overstanding is sovereignty. You are the sovereign man when you are the master of your world. And the master spends 500 years learning so that he is a jack of all trades. And we are the jack. There's the king, there's the queen, and the jack. And we are the prince to this family, this holy trinity. And you have to be the jack of all trades. That's why these words, ancient words exist. And that's why you have to leave home. This is what you need to do. You need to distill water. You need to know how to do that. You need to know how to plant crops. You need to know when to plant crops. You need to know that the moon plays an enormous role in the planting of seeds, and therefore the success of the crop that you wish to plant. You need to know all of these things. You need to master the night sky, astrology. You need to master everything. So you cannot be watching TV and playing Nintendo. It's taking you away from what you're supposed to become, which is this righteous man that is a jack of all trades. And then you reign supreme, and you are sovereign because you possess overstanding through understanding and never understanding unless it's to God.
Brilliant. Love it.
Beautifully said. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Well, thanks for having me on here, guys.
Of course, brother. Yeah, thanks for joining.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Yeah, love what you do. Love you guys, and yeah, keep doing the work.
Thank you, and love to you. Colleen said she was muted, but Colleen said love to all of your beautiful children. So
You muted me?
Thank you.
bye, Robert.
Bye, Robert.
Love you, buddy.
Okay.
All right. Love
Bye,
you.
Charlie. Bye, Colleen. Bye, Justin.
Strong. You are strong, but
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
The best is yet to come.
Indeed, it is.
All right. Chris, you are up next. Hey, Chris. Connect into audio. You just got to accept and Zoom to connect to your audio. There you go. Can you hear us? Oh, you got to unmute yourself. Click the little unmute button in Zoom. Should be a little microphone, usually in the lower left if you're on a computer. Not sure. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, perfect.
Awesome.
Hear you loud and clear.
Thank you, guys. Hi, guys. It's wonderful to see you. All of you have been an inspiration to myself and my wife. Being about 7 months now that we've been checking you guys out and
Beautiful.
listening to your advice, and it's just it's been amazing run considering that. No, they can hear me. I'm on Zoom. Okay, sorry. That was my wife. Anyway, my question is, and I don't want to get into a lot of talking about myself, but my question is, you guys were talking in regards to the reincarnation, and that's kind of new to me, and I kind of feel that I resonate with that. I understand coming back and doing things on a karmic level, but my question is we don't ever seem to learn anything, or it's like it's a bad joke. How am I supposed to understand what my past soul, or my one soul in my past lives, and I'm supposed to correct things, but I don't know really where to start.
yeah,
Other than my intuition, I don't know. So maybe you can help.
for sure, Chris. And you know what? We don't learn anything because we don't do anything. And that's the funny thing, because these jobs in cities are useless, worthless, and purposeless. They possess the technology. We possess the technology right now to be able to have 99.9% of all the work that is required to be done by computers, machines, robots, whatever. So there is no need for this at all. All of this economic structure, money, and cities and busyness was all created to distract us from doing the work. So that's why you go around and around and around and around and around and around the wheel, and you never learn anything because you never do anything. You start doing things when you opt out of society and you just go and do something else. And even if you don't know what you're doing, you will, because it's hardwired into you. And it's hardwired into every tree. So every time you go out into the nature, the trees are telling you what you to do, and the leaves are telling you, and the wind is God, and God is telling you what to do. And the river is the mother, and the ocean is the mother, and the lake is the mother. And every time
It's hard not to pick it up.
you cleanse yourself, she's inundating you with what you're supposed to do. And then you just intuitively know where you're supposed to go next and what you're supposed to be
And
doing.
as we travel, we share with each other, and each soul is giving another a piece of the puzzle. It's so beautiful.
We don't need sexual partners. What we need are friends. Men and women, we need friends. This whole sex thing for now needs to stop. It needs to just, we need to take a
Because
step
it's been
backwards.
perverted and programmed.
That's right. And
The
until
left-brain issue.
then we need to take a step back from this whole sex thing. And what we need to get back to is friendship. What we can never have enough of
And trust
is
and
friends.
faith. Oh my goodness.
That exactly. We've completely lost the trust in God, and that's everything. That's absolutely everything. And we're kind men, and we just need to bond with one another. And Colleen and I are so excited to go forth, part the Red Sea, to leave Egypt, and find Israel, Razel, everywhere. Go to every country, every land, and to just share the experience of each one of you together. And that's what and then you just make friend after friend after friend. And that's family, and that's a network, that's a web. That's the way the spider web is supposed to work, not the way that these demons have been creating their cobwebs. So we need to start doing this right. And again, Chris, one quick thing, you were just saying, you see this as like a karmic experience. It really isn't. It's just necessary because it's simply necessary because we've forgotten what our purpose is and what we're supposed to do. So then we're gifted this opportunity to have another chance and another chance and another chance, because God loves a trier, and through trying, then we will come to learn. So the reason that there is a karmic wheel, the reason that there is the samsara, is solely because you can't die. The only thing that can die is this physical vessel that God gave you, but it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to, because all it is cells. And you see, and then this is so important to follow our teachings, because what do we teach you is at the basis of each one of your cells. Are points of light, are atoms, and an atom is a point of light, which is photon, which is God. So of all the stars there are in the sky, and there are trillions of them, that's how many cells are in you. And those lights in the sky that you see, that's God. And they're very small, because if we saw the wholeness of God, with all the darkness that we carry inside, would tear holes in us, because it is so powerful and we have fallen so far. So this needs to be done incrementally. That's why it's journeys. That's why it's lifetimes, because we have to start growing back again incrementally to be able to handle the wholeness of God, which is all. And that's a lot. That's a lot. So when we come to realize, Lucy, when we come to realize that what we're here for is to live forever, to read, to master the Bible. When you master the Bible, that's the baptism of water. When you then do the work that is taught you in the Bible, that's the baptism of fire. And then you're living it. Then you are Jeheshua and Mary. You are real in the Holy Land 2,000 years ago, because that's now. This is day 7. Since
I
God,
assume you'll know that when that happens.
yeah, and you absolutely will. You will know that, because the fire transmutates you alchemically into two worlds as one, and you absolutely will know this. You will see this, that you're here by choice, but but you're connected there, and it's through here that you operate. And anyone who wants to treat with you, they must enter within your palace. You do not leave your palace to go down into their world, because that's when the waters get muddied again. This is crystalline. This is purity. Don't leave the hill. Up Steely Dan, Asia, up on the hill. People never stare. They just don't care. And when all my dime dancing is through, I will run Asia, which is Ajna, which is the third eye chakra, the sixth chakra. Ajna, Asia, when my dime dancing is through, I run to you. Don't leave the hill. This is the hill. That's why they build pyramids. That's why there's a capstone. This is your capstone. The symbology of the Trinity here, which is pineal gland, pituitary gland, and hypothalamus. There it is. This is the hill. Don't leave the hill. And that's what we're here to recognize. And when you stay in the hill, your cells regenerate. Why wouldn't they? That's precisely what they do. And this is what the Bible teaches. Justin knows this so well. It's RE. Everything about the New Testament is RE. Everything about the Old Testament is DE. To teach you to get the hell out of Egypt, to get out of Dodge, and to cross that river as Jacob did, and to meet God face to face in a place called Pineal, and your life is preserved, because honey is a preservative, and your life is preserved. So when you flow with melatonin, you see, this isn't allegories. It literally transmutates into reality, because it's perfect, because God is perfect. And so when you do this work and you activate the pineal gland, you're producing copious amounts of melatonin. Mela is honey. Mela means the sweetness of honey, which is a preservative, and your life is preserved. You won't die. Melatonin produces new blood cells through the claustrum, Santa Claus. That's why Santa's red, because he's blood. And he's white and red because he's pure blood, because he's regenerated blood. He's new blood. That's why with Jesus Christ, it's always new. New with Jesus Christ, because he's reborn. And you literally do this by going up on the hill where people never stare because they just don't care. They're zombies, but you're not. And the only way that you'll get them to stop being zombies is to illuminate upon the hill. And one day they'll look up and they'll go, my God, there's a lighthouse up. There's a freaking, do you see that? I never noticed that before. There's a lighthouse. Yeah, it's Chris. It's Chris Wallace. And he's
Lion.
And maybe we should ask Chris how he got there. And that's what this is all about. Don't ever doubt what I'm teaching you, because it comes straight from God. Don't doubt this for a second. You are meant to live forever. The only reason you go around the wheel is because you keep killing your physical form. Stop killing your physical form. I've told you what you are. You're a frugivore. So
we're doing the juicing. We're working on it with my wife and I and my child, or our child is trying to get that down. It's not easy, but I have no craving for the meat for whatever reason. It's like it just vanished. I can't do it, and I feel so much better, lighter. My pineal's being decalcified. I do iodine every day as well, nascent iodine, and work on the meditation and the spirituality of the thought process and inner self. It's just wonderful what you guys are doing. So I want to thank you so much.
Doing the work, Chris. Thank your family. Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
and again,
By the way, one more thing before I let you go, because I know there's other people. I'm a kid I'm a 68 born, don't call it birthday, born day, child of the 70s, teens of the 80s. One thing I just want to leave on with Charlie is one of my favorite songs is by Marmalade, Reflections of My Life. Junior Campbell and Dean Ford, I believe, wrote that. Yeah. Was that in the line of what you would be decoding?
Yeah, absolutely. That I'll, it's just time, and I'll eventually cross that path. But yeah. Dean Ford, absolutely connected to the Alan Parsons Project. Really, really goodly, godly man. Yeah. you just see this club. You just see this network of people. When we were watching that special, there was a tribute to Michael McDonald, and all the people that worked with Michael McDonald were on stage for about an hour and a half, and it was amazing. It was amazing. And then I was just watching, and they never announced him or anything, but there was a guy, big guy, playing guitar on one side of the stage, and I was going, my God, that's Alan Parsons. Alan Parsons, and it's like it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. This is that, Boz Scaggs to Donald Walter to Michael McDonald to Chris Cross to Michael to Toto to Michael Jackson to Prince,
All
and you
connected.
just see them all connected
America.
to America. Paul Rogers, Bad Company. You see these connections, and
Supertramp.
it's Roger Hodgson, Supertramp. It is a beautiful family because they saw the truth in each other's music.
It's like all of us.
Yeah.
All of us connecting, right?
Yeah.
With the gnosis, with the
Wonderful.
sharing.
I love it. I love it so much. I appreciate it. Appreciate your
Yeah,
time, guys.
yeah.
Thank you
Well,
so much.
I'd like to weigh in a little bit on
Oh, yeah.
your first question.
Okay.
So just the one thing that kind of helps me conceptualize, this fall into separation. We taken this, we're playing this separation game. Separation is an illusion. It's not real, but we're deciding to play this game. So there's two ways that you can play it. You can either journey back towards the singularity, journey back to God, cast your net to the right, or you can play the left-hand path, which is to go further separating, play the satanic way. And so you've got these two routes to go. Now, the way to win the game, and you can't really win the game from the satanic path. They never win the game from that perspective. But in order to advance that direction, per se, you want to create this illusion, make the illusion even stronger, to separate people even further. So everything that organized society is doing and has done that's been conducted by these demons, these Canaanites, is to create this separation illusion and make it even more powerful, make it seem that much more real. Because the further disconnected we are from this true story, our one true story, and the path back, the easier it is to further divide us and further separate us. Because they know that if we don't even take one step in the right direction, then we retain none of that when we die. And so we just go around and around and around. So the better that they can do that, the better that they can keep us away from this story. And that's why they invented religions, because they take this one story and they distort it so many different ways so that we never discover it. We never discover ourselves. So that's why I often say, and Charlie's mentioned it as well, that the grand conspiracy that links them all, the main one is to make everything to where we're as far separated from God, as far separated from ourselves, as far separated from this one story as possible. Everything is designed to do that. So that's where the whole spinning ball uh, uh, earth that we supposedly
Yeah.
live on comes into play, because it separates us from the stillness and silence, is just where we're supposed to connect to. And so every single facet of society is designed to get us away from this story. So that's why it's so difficult to retain this knowledge when we gain it in any lifetime, because we really
Right.
haven't gained it at all, because they've been playing this game pretty well up until this point, but that's all changing.
Good. Thank God. Thank you so
Yeah,
much, Justin. You're so wise. Uh,
thanks, brother.
Incredible. Beautiful guys. I appreciate your time and your truth. That's what we all want, is just truth. And even if it's the truth that I don't like, at least I know what I'm dealing with. So thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
Yeah, thank
Bye,
you. Thank
guys.
you for thank you for your dedication, and thank you for all that you're doing. It truly shows. I mean, you're absolutely glowing right now, and tell your wife that we love her as well.
Oh, I
And
sure will. She loves you guys too. Like I said, it's just we're in our bubble here in the Central Oregon coast, and we don't like to leave it. But I know we got to get out there and shine the light. So again, thank you. Appreciate it.
Beautiful.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Chris.
Chris. And Justin's right. You're glowing. So it's wonderful to see.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. I'll be watching.
beautiful. Take care, brother.
Bye bye.
All right. Uh, Rish, you are up next.
And as Rich comes in here, there's somebody in the chat room talking about the different bands. Mike and the Mechanics.
Wonderful. Thank you, Chris. And Justin's right. You're glowing. So it's wonderful to see.
Awesome.
Background noise.
Rich, if you just want to mute your YouTube video that's playing in the background, and then you can come back on to Zoom.
Yeah, so Mike and the Mechanics, of course, Genesis, again, writing all of these alchemical songs, and yeah.
Hi, Rish.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Awesome, man. How are you guys? Oh my God, this is so unreal.
Fantastic. Yeah, glad you're here, brother. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, man, I'm so glad I'm here. So I came to America, came to Babylon from Nepal when I was 11 years old, and that was 2011. Now I'm 22, or I'm 21, turning 22 soon.
Wow.
11, 20.
And yeah, and long story short, in 2017, I was looking like this, if you can see it.
Ah, okay.
Wow, okay.
You look older there.
Yeah, I look older because I was abusing alcohol, abusing marijuana, abusing tobacco, stealing, lying, basically all the sins I was committing. And I really went down that path. I really I got rooted. You know, in the age of 18, I felt so rooted that I'm like, you know, it just sucked. And then I got this beautiful right. Oh, where is she? Right here, Candy, come here.
Oh, she's beautiful.
And my whole diet for my whole life was potatoes, meat, dairy, eggs, and that's about it. For my whole life, or until 17 years. Then I got her, and then I got him because I made this instantaneous decision to go vegetarian and, you know, take that path, because I knew intuitively that I can't live a good life while I'm eating these crap, because, you know, I feel rooted. So what I did was I went down the path. I went vegetarian. I started experimenting with psychedelics, and I was just awakened, you know, in a sense. And then I started seeing, like, I've been watching all the movies. I watched They Live, and, you know, it kind of felt like I put on the glasses, you know. And then everything happened, all of that happened, and yeah, then I went to this thing called Vipassana. As soon as I turned 18, I went to this something called Vipassana retreat. I don't know if you guys know what it is, but it's like 10 days of silence. It's all around the world, and it's free, which is why, like, my compass was like, okay, it's free, it's all around the world, and it's goodly and godly. I got to go there. So right when I turned 18, I went there. It's basically 10 hours of meditation every day for 10 days while you're in silence. You can't speak to anyone. There's a lot of people doing it with you, but you can't speak to anyone. You can't read a book. You can't write. You can't listen to music. You're basically sitting in a cushion, like Buddha, for like 24 hours. I mean, for 10 hours a day. And yeah, you're just here, and you're just here. And I learned that, and I went there 4 times now, and I've spent like 40 days of my life in silence, and I'm only like 22. and I feel older, but I feel more wiser, and I feel like I'm very mature for my age. So I guess what I'm trying to say is there is this facility out there for anyone who wants to go there. It's called Vipassana meditation. You can do more research on it. It's basically you sign up, you go there for free. They give you really good vegetarian food. You know, and their whole basis is no killing, no stealing, no lying, no sexual misconduct, which I interpreted as not spilling your seed, although they're kind of vague on that. And the last one is no intoxication. So I went there, I did this for 10 days, and, you know, things rapidly happened. After I did this, things just started rapidly happening, and like my life just kept getting in better and better. Last year, I found Charlie Free. You were on with Lokesh, and you know, Lokesh was a very interesting guy. And I remember when Remembrancer had come in, and then I don't know why, but Lokesh wanted Remembrancer to leave. It was just a funny situation, but basically I started listening to Charlie, and then I don't know if it was before I found you guys, but I went on this journey of juice fasting. So I did 150 days of juicing last year, and from July 6th until November 30th, I was juicing. So I've spent 150 days. I went through the whole journey. Most of my time was sitting outside in the sun listening to you guys, you know. So I just got this, I don't know, baptism of something, you know, something happened to me.
For sure.
And
Just look at
yeah,
really quickly. Look at those dates, because that when you're talking about juicing, that's when you're designed to do it. Is the peak of summer, so around in and around June 22nd, and then that's what you're supposed to do until the winter solstice, and that's you entering into the tomb. So that's you preparing to be Christ and to enter within the tomb for 3 days and 3 nights, the miracle of 72 hours. And so that's why, because the God divined within you for you to do that. So July 6th to November 30th is literally just perfect in preparation for December. And then there's you, and there's the fireplace, and there are pine cones, and there's the purity of the snow, and there's the flame of the flame of the Father, and then you just go within December 22nd, 23rd, 24th, and you come out the regenerated man, and death passes you over. That's gorgeous. I just wanted to, sorry for interrupting, but those dates are very important, from the high of summer, when that's when, you know, fruits everywhere, no matter where you are, fruits everywhere, and you take of that life until you're ready to go into the tomb, and then you're born again.
yeah, and Colleen and her orange juice was like, I got influenced by you guys to just drink orange juice. So it was like 20 days where I just drank orange juice and I was fine. I was, you know, I was great. I was doing, and then he said orange angel, and then it just like illuminated me. I'm like, orange, like that's all I need, you know, for that moment, that's all I needed. Now it's a little bit different, but at that moment, orange was just what I needed and what I wanted. And that was the craziest thing. And so this one thing happened to me during that juice fast is before starting the juice fast, it's like I took that leap of faith, you know, where I kind of just surrendered thinking. Like I'm like, okay, I wake up because I had a very bad relationship with food growing up. And, you know, I've been trying to resolve that because I see how like my meditation gets affected when I'm rooted, when I'm too rooted, you know, and it's like, it's something that was in my mind that I'm like, I have to fix this. I just have to. And the earlier, the better, because every night I'm suffering because I ate too much. And I'm like, I need to solve this. So what happened was when I made the transition into juicing, it was like I took a leap into the right brain, because now I know God is taking care of me. I just go make juice and just like drink it. That's all. Like, you know, it's so easy and it's so simple and it's so perfect. When it was time to end the fast, I guess I gave my ego an inch, and it took a mile where I started thinking for myself. You know, so and then something similar to Casey happened. If you have been keeping up with Casey, and it's just like, because I was so damaged going into the fast, you know, and I knew that breaking the fast was going to be difficult. I just wasn't prepared for the challenges that came up. So what happened is started thinking for myself, and that was, you know, like it happened for a reason. Although I was stressed out, I really lost so much weight 1 or 2 months after the fast, because I was just so stressed out. I was just like, I'm like, I need to fix what I did to myself. You know, even though I cleansed and everything and it was just so pure, now it's like I have transitioned back into the eating world of food. So what I did was I started studying Ayurveda, which is I'm from Nepal, and like there's, you know, a lot of texts and scriptures associated with food. I think that they have the biggest research done on the whole realm of food in those days in Ayurveda, or people who are not yogis and monks, you know, how to live. And, you know, I'm asking these questions. I'm like, okay, like, why did people cook? And just like, I'm asking these questions for myself. And I'm just like, what's the truth with food? And one thing I realized is like, even the highest of highest yogis, the monks, the people who live in the Himalayas, either they're breatharians or they're frugivores, like they're fruitarians. So I knew in the back of my mind that the highest people with the highest consciousness are going to these lighter foods, right? But then there's a whole science about like how to eat these foods that keep you rooted. So I basically embraced a lot of things. I learned so much. Now I'm completely healed. I'm I'm basically all good now. Like I gained all the weight I lost just by itself, just by eating normally. I love bananas. I eat like 6, 7 bananas in the morning, and just it's just everything is good now. Um, and yeah, man, I just want to thank you, because like I found you guys, and it's like like what were the odds of me stumbling upon your channel? I don't even know how I did it, you know. So I'm just here and I'm just like watching you guys every day, just inspired and just, you know. So I do have a question, and this question is kind of back in January 2019, I was under psychedelics, I was under mushrooms, and then I was in the forest. I was in this really beautiful park. I live in San Francisco, by the way, or by San Francisco. So it's just crazy out here, I'm gonna tell you. But what I did was I ended up looking at the sun at peak midday without having enough practice. So what I did was I did damage my retina a little bit, but I feel like it's also a gift for me because there is always something happening here. Anytime I choose to focus here, there's always like friction, like there's something happening here all the time. So and I consulted with like my masters because I went to Nepal and I met really remarkable people, and you know they were like, look at green, you know, just like stay somewhere and just look at green for like a whole year, just stare into green, you know, and you'll be healed. But I wanted to ask if you had any thoughts on like how to heal what I've done right here. Although even if it doesn't heal, it's okay because I kind of love it.
Great question, and guaranteed it will heal because that is the very nature of God's creation. That there are no problems. So anything that you experience is only because you attempted perhaps to go too fast, right? So we always try to teach, you know, sun gazing upon the level. It's where all the truth comes out upon the level, sunrise, sunset, and then you can build. So if you desperate because you love God and you want to connect to God, and then at midday you weren't prepared for it and you look straight up and you know you damage your retina or whatever, it'll heal. Everything is healing. Every aspect of nature is healing. So all you have to do is take of life, which is God, because God is God of living, not of the dead. So you eat life, you don't eat death. And the thing that I wanted to just point out before I pass it over to Colleen and Justin is this: there's nothing that you need to do, and you know, you made such a very powerful, and everyone picked up on it in the chat room, and it's very, very important, and that is the key to this. To everything is take no thought for your life. It truly, truly is. Stop thinking, and I know that maybe sounds weird or whatever, but you can't ever go without some form of direction or the game ends. So if you don't think, there's only one other alternative in the stillness and the silence of not thinking, and that's God. And He created everything, and He is above everything, and He has a perfect perspective. We have none on the valley floor. So your life changes dramatically, and everything heals dramatically, and there's nothing you need to do. And I don't know how else to explain this to you. Your life moving forward just becomes a series of wonderful adventures, because there are no obstacles in your path. Have the courage to do whatever you truly want to do. Don't worry about offending people. Just do what you need to do, and the clutter will clear itself out of the way. And once you've made that clear to your ego that you're not going to allow these obstructions to be in your way, it'll stop putting them in your way because it's not having any effect. That's how everything works. So it's just like all of those systems in your body that are good for you that have shut down because you stop using them. The ego does that too. When you stop using that mechanism, clear the mechanism. Colleen uses that all the time. When you clear the mechanism of the ego, it just stops bugging you because it has no effect upon you. That's what happens. You don't even have to build the temple. The temple is built for you. That's, you know, just behind to the up and to the right of you, and there is the temple. That is the child of God in the temple. That's what we're looking at here, upon the green, the middle way of the mother, and that's what this is all about. So stop thinking. Stop thinking and trying to do anything. There's nothing that you need to do other than receive the gifts from God, and the gifts from God will take you everywhere. It will tell you what to do, and it'll allow you to meet whom you need to meet. And this is the journey of life that Jesus Christ went on. Remember, Jesus didn't come to the Holy Land to create a ministry. This is insanity about the Catholic Church. It's like, well, Jesus had a ministry, and before he died, he gave it to Peter, and Peter went to Rome, and St. Peter's Basilica is the beginnings of the Catholic Church, and that's how we own Jesus, because he didn't have a ministry. Yeshua was a man on a journey. People were attracted to him, and they went to him. Jesus never went out of his way to go off his path for anybody else. They came to him. And because he's a kind man, he helped them. But what you're reading is the journey of a man from Egypt to Razel, to Israel, to the pineal gland. That's what he did. And you have to suffer crucifixion because you have to get out of hell, you have to get out of the body, and you have to get up into heaven, which is this high mind. This is why all the yogis, all the wise people in the world, they all are breatharians or frugivores, fruitarians, because you have to be an Aryan. You have to be light. You have to rise. Wisdom is with God who's up in heaven. You must rise. And to rise is light. And light is the wholeness of that word. All of these words are holistic terms.
And that's clearing the entire mechanism.
Exactly. Doing the work on two levels. It starts with the food. It continues with the breathing. It's formed in your yoga. And then it's transformed with the key, which is meditation. Key, when you turn the key over, that's you handing everything over to God. Stop thinking. I cannot express this more. I wish I was a better teacher. I don't know how else to express this better to you. Stop thinking. It is the worst part of all of us, myself included. Stop thinking and just start reacting to what God gives you. Reacting. We got to learn. What did Roger Hodgson say? And if we'd only listen, if everyone was listening, and Roger said, an actor indeed, go relearn your lines. And that what that means, relearn your lines, is go back to the script, which is source. And the baptism of water is mastering the Bible, and the baptism of fire is doing the work of Jesus Christ. I cannot stress this enough to you. You must become Christ-like. That's the whole point of this. And you go on a journey. And if people ask you to help them along the way, then you do. But it never detracts you from your journey. Because if you don't do your journey, you don't become the lighthouse. And if you're not the lighthouse, they won't awake. You must turn on the light. And that's what you're doing. Justin can see it, Colleen can see it, I can see it, and we're so proud of you because you're doing the work. That's enough for me. Over to Justin and Colleen.
I just wanted to say something really quick. You had mentioned that you were grateful for your gazing, and there was a little bit of problem with your retina. First of all, you're already in the fact that you are grateful for it, but perhaps there is the sight may not be as good right now, but this is going to enhance. There are other senses that will enhance for you, and this is maybe part of the journey. So there is nothing that is wrong. And like Charlie always says, there are no problems. There really aren't. And God will heal all of that. And you just have to let it go. That seems irresponsible.
I am healed because of this. I feel that in some way. It's just beautiful. It's always here, and every time I close my eyes, it's here, and it's like Field of Dreams. I think that was the movie. It's like if you build it, he will come. I just resonate with that so much. It's just like I have built, myself up to this point, and he has came. And it's 111 here, and it's amazing.
It truly is amazing, and like it's been said, you're doing everything right, so it's going to heal because that's how God works, and we just have to have trust and faith. Um, but just to share some practical, if for anyone is wanting to do sun gazing, and it doesn't have to happen to be at the sun rising or sunset, just keep your eyelids shut and that's a nice filter where you can still gaze towards the sun and receive the light from God with having a little filter to where you can get more of that practice in, and make sure your hands are facing the sun as well, because that's another way to absorb those rays. So that's a helpful little tip. And then, yeah, if you want to try something to help soothe or maybe speed up the process, I've heard castor oil is phenomenal for eyes. So that might be something you want to look into and try out. It's a natural oil made from the castor seeds. Um, and that might be something that you could try out. And then I've also heard that urine is, oh, nice, you've already got some. Urine is also fantastic as well, especially aged urine. So if you put a drop or two of that in your eye, that might help speed up that process as well. And this is just giving your body essentially a recirculation of what's ailing it, so that it can kind of help recalibrate and speed up that healing process a little bit. So that might be something you could try practically. But ultimately, just having that faith and knowing that you're doing the right thing, it's going to heal, no doubt. And like
Take
it's
no
been
thought.
said, yeah, just take no
Yeah.
thought. It's perfect.
That's how it's going this whole time. It's just when I think, I get myself in trouble, and when I don't think, it's just I don't think, and that's the reward is in the work of me not thinking. So I meditate every day, for an hour at least. There are times, because my family is very supportive, because we are all from the East, and we came to Babylon, although it's turning into Babylon there too. But we came here, and although the food wasn't, everything wasn't right, but this inclination to our old tradition of, like, where our whole family meditated, or there is something that the whole family does together, and whether that be sitting in front of the fire or literally meditating and chanting and going home, it's just like we do something together. And I feel like they would meditate. Before I got into it, they would be downstairs meditating, and I would just look at them, and I would think they're crazy. My mom was vegetarian, my brother was vegetarian before I went vegetarian, and I used to be one of the person that would go on social media and make fun of vegans. Like, I would tell vegans to go eat a steak, because I felt like I don't know, like I was in my ego, I was in my uncle's, and just I felt empowered by, you know, doing that, and I repented, and like it's just I went through so many baptisms of fire. The only way I can think of it is like I was meditating in these 10 days. It's day 7. I haven't talked to anyone. I have this burning pain in my knee, and I'm just sitting through it and watching my breath, and it's just like that was me going through this process of just like cleansing, and not just the body, which happened later, but in the beginning, it was like I was literally repenting for my sins,
When
and it was amazing.
when how perfect of an experience for you to have gone through that space of judgment and ego, where you're trying to tell vegans to eat steak, and now you're seeing it from the other perspective, so that you can have that compassion for those who are still within that way of being, to remember that you came from there as well, and to embrace with open arms and continue to shine as brightly as you are. What, like, brother, you are so powerful. It is absolutely incredible to be 22 years old and to be shining this brightly. Like, wow. Wow. I am humbled and honored to be in your presence. So thank you for all that you do, and thank you for all that you've done. It's remarkable, truly.
You too, Justin. It's amazing. Thank you.
Reminds us so much of Eugene. So it would be nice if you and Eugene were able to connect, because about the same age and doing the same things, doing the work, and it's so beautiful to see.
Leave
And
your information here too, because we'd love to keep in contact with you.
absolutely, absolutely. This is real family when you're this committed to doing the work. This is what real family is all about. So it's very beautiful. And I just wanted to end this little section with this. Remember, what meditation is supposed to become is eternal, so that you never stop meditating. And this is this two worlds as one, but you now live your physical realm out of the higher realm. So you're here in the physical, and it may take you. People may have to, Charlie, I called you twice. Oh, sorry, I was up on the hill, and that's the only way. So what it looks like in the end, this process is that you never stop meditating, and that is your frequency, so that God is always with you. There's no better way for me to explain it to everyone than this is what I've been able to do for myself, is that I live in the temple. And Colleen
I'm
gets,
always calling him down.
yeah, and Colleen, well, and that's right, yeah, whatever. And rightly so, because I choose to be here. So I have a responsibility to be here. But that is what it's like. You don't leave the temple. For goodness sake, when you get there, when you commune amongst the redwood trees, don't leave. Don't go back into San Francisco. You make San Francisco come to you. You don't go to San Francisco. And that is amongst the groves of the redwoods, and these are your redwoods right here. They are. They absolutely are. And I did a post last week and it said, if you're going to speak with the wisdom of a redwood tree. And there was like hundreds and hundreds of responses to that, because it triggered people. And it's like, exactly. Everything a redwood does is wise and purposeful. Be a redwood tree. And that's
I just want to say one little more thing about meditation is when I first initially wanted to get into meditation, it was more for experiences. I had this fantasies of like, oh, I want to fly here and I want to lucid dream and I want to astral project. But when it came down to it, nothing beats stillness and silence. That is all you need. You just still and silent, and that's all you need. And it's just like it doesn't appeal to you. You don't want to fly anywhere. You're just still, you're silent, and you're here, and you got him, and that's all you need is him. That's all you need, And it's just like for anyone meditating or wanting to meditate, it's just your breath. You just sit here, and the school I went to practice in, they said that your breath is a bridge, and they said a bridge to sensations in your body. I interpreted that as just it's a bridge to God. You are God. You are here and now, and God is within you, and your breath is the bridge. And the more I practice, it's called Anapanasati. It's taught by the Buddha. This whole thing is taught by the Buddha, the Vipassana, and and it's been laid out. This path has been walked, and you can walk. It's just this one story. Jesus did it, Buddha did it, Muhammad did it, Zarathustra did it, Christ, everyone, just like we're all doing it now. And it's just it's amazing.
Don't doubt what he is saying, because this is absolutely the truth. They've all done it, and that's, I did that show last week or whatever about the ancient truth of Jesus Christ. Is that the only monotheistic religion that exists is Christianity. Hinduism is Christianity. Buddhism is Christianity. And that's not to besmirch Hinduism or Buddhism. They came before this westernized Christianity, which is the only, that's not Christianity. The Catholic Church doesn't teach Christianity. But all of these religions are all Christianity, because that's the night sky. That's God's teaching to us, is in the night sky. Zoroaster. That's why Z ends your alphabet. Zorro, because that's Zoroaster, because he's the one that decoded the night sky. And that's the truth, the direct, pure link. The pureness of Christianity would be Zoroastrianism, which then came to Hinduism, which then went to Buddhism, which then went to these different variations that eventually trickled down into Roman Catholicism. But it's all Christianity, because it's all based on astrology and the night sky, and it's all about you. And the Bible should really be called, as Bill Donahue said, the Bible should be called Enter Your Name Here, because everything is a parable about you. You are Noah, and you've got an ark right here, and there's only one window, which is up here to the mercy seat, which is God, and you've got a job to do to get your ark up to the right in the mountains. Get out of the valley, and you have to go. So it's so beautiful. So what I just wanted to say to everyone is this: meditation is so. This is what I teach. Breathing is the bridge. Meditation is the key. The breathing gets you over out of the left hemisphere of the brain to the right hemisphere of the brain, but there's still a door to the right. You have to open the door to the right, and that is a frequency, and that's why it's meditation. Meditation is a fiery key, because that's the baptism of fire. and then you don't leave it. You don't leave it. You spend your life in a meditative state, and yogi in the world, every person with they all say the same thing. When you are in that state of grace, which is that meditative state, nothing bad can happen to you. Nothing bad. You could be meditating in the middle of a highway and no car will hit you. You could be meditating in the middle of a rugby match and no one will tackle you or hurt you. They can't, because you create a magnetic field around you. You become
Army of God.
boundaries. You are a frequency. Magnetism is a field. Electricity is a frickin' circuit. Get out of that electrical circuit, which is the left brain, and get into everything, which is magnetism, which is a field, a frequency. And that's 144,000. That's casting that to the right and catching 153 fish. That is 432 hertz. That's 963 hertz. It's everything is about 9. Which is God consciousness. And you do that by going into the temple, and don't you dare leave. And that's why Steely Dan's Asia, that's why it is, to me, the number one song of all time. There's never been a song musically, lyrically, and connected with one another that is even close to that song. That song is perfection, Father, grace, Mother. It is perfection and grace. Listen to the song. Listen to the music. Steve Gadd's drums to kick it out. The temptation to take you out off of the hill back into hell. Don't dime dance. Don't do your dime dancing. Don't worry about money. Become the light of the world, and you are the bank. That's where banking comes from. People go, well, now that I've learned this stuff, it's like banking's all about spirituality and this going within. Yeah, that's right, because it's all credit and debit. If you go within, you're a creditor. Gold, you're a creditor. And if you don't, you're a debtor. You never want to be a debtor. God didn't create you as a debtor. So that's, like Justin said, the illusion. The illusion rears its ugly head again because you're living a false reality. You're the richest person in the world because you have God, you have the Mother, you have Christ, and you have Santa Claus, all within you. And and again, Christ is Buddha, Christ is Krishna, Christ is Mohammed, Christ is Zarathustra. That's Christ. It's Christ Jesus, not Jesus Christ, because Christ is the title, and you have to earn it. And that's why when you're born, you're gifted a minimum of 1,000 years. And the only reason you're dying at 60 or 70 is because you're toxifying yourself. They're doing it, but you allow them to do it for your entire life. And that's why you die painfully at 60. It's a minimum of 1,000 years, because you've got so much work to do to become Christ-like. And you can, and you will. And that's why you go round and round and round and round the wheel. It's not like a karmic debt or anything. I don't want people to think of it that way. It's not true. God doesn't hate you, doesn't punish you. He just gives you an eternal chance to get it right. To get everything right. Go to the right.
No, that was amazing. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Colleen. Thank you, Justin.
Thank
You guys are amazing.
Thank
I hope
you,
we
brother.
connect soon. I do hope you email me. I think you wrote that you have my email.
Yeah.
I would, I would love it to just be part. I mean, I am part of the family. Even when I'm sitting here talking to you guys, it feels like I've known you guys for about infinite years. Forever. We've been here forever. We've been doing this forever, and we're gonna be here forever, and we're gonna help other people do it, because everyone is just, like, we're here to do the work. This is a realm to do the work. And that's becoming clear to me every single day. The more that I do the work, the reward is in the work. When I'm doing the work, I'm rewarded that moment when I did the work. And it's amazing. And I got so much to do. I got to learn Sanskrit, and I got to learn how to make music, and I got to learn how to sing, and I got to learn how to dance, and I got to learn how to just be. And after all, I don't have to learn anything, because it's already it. Everything is here already. So thank you, guys. I'm gonna let the other person hop in. Thank you.
But what a journey to learn those things in this lifetime, right? It'll be fun. We can do it together. It'll be fun.
We'll do it together.
Yeah, thank you
Alright.
so much, brother.
Bye-bye.
We love you.
Guys.
Yeah, we'll be in
Bye-bye.
touch.
Beautiful.
So what can you say? Hey, Justin.
Wow.
Okay.
Just wow.
I
Just
love
wow.
Yeah, you see the work that Justin is doing, and the wisdom that Justin possesses, and then see this is Justin manifesting all of this into his life and his experience as well. It's here for all of us, but you have to do the work. There's, Jesus didn't do all of these things to say, yeah, you're a worthless sinner, and just pay 10% to the church. How does it? Clearly no one reads the Bible. Clearly nobody reads the Bible because Jesus doesn't, it's not that he doesn't say that, he says the exact opposite of that. He gets right in your face and he says the opposite. So again, when the woman commits adultery and they bring her in and they throw her into the ground before Jesus and they say, by the law of Moses, she must be stoned to death. And Jesus says, okay, fine. Then let he who cast the first stone be free of sin.
Nobody.
It's no one. No stones are being thrown. Jesus then reaches down, lifts her up, looks her square in the eyes, and says, now go forth and sin no more. How do you not get this? The whole point of Christianity is to not sin. You are mankind. You're here to be kind, and that's kind is virtue, it's not sinning. So go forth and sin no more. Do whatever you need to do. This is the ahimsa. Do whatever you need to do, but don't sin. Do whatever you need to do, but don't sin. That's it. And that's what Christ is saying. Now go forth, be free, and don't sin. That's the sovereign man who stands over.
Don't miss the mark.
That's right. Don't miss the mark. Yeah, don't miss the message. And the message is in all of these songs. It's in these books. They're beautiful. They're mystical. They're magical because you are beautiful, mystical, and magical. It's all about you. And Lisa Cry Freedom was just saying earlier in the chat room, just a bit back. She said, "Jesus is you. You are coming. You are the second coming of Christ. Yay! He's within you." He did his job so well, he's within every single one of us. And Jesus is real.
So when is he coming?
Within. When you choose to wake up, when you choose to do the work, when you say that I am Jesus Christ and I have to get from the Dead Sea, where you heal yourself, from the Dead Sea to Capernaum at the top of the circuit of Galilee, then you have done this journey. And that's what you must do. You must go on this journey. You must do this work. And to do this journey and to do this work, you have to become light. You have to become lighter than air. And that's where God is. That's where God is. That's why it's the earth, EA. It's all about EA. Ether. Ether of the Father. Ether of the Father, because that's where heaven is. Heaven upon earth is in the ether. And it's a dome. And you're protected, and the earth has never moved, and it never will move, because God is electricity, which is stillness and silence. What die means is the perfect balance, so that there's no more wind, there's no more tides, there's no more movement at all, because it's just perfection in an eternal moment. When you achieve that, then you live forever, and that's what living in the Garden of Eden is. Living in the Garden of Eden is when you clear the mechanism. Kevin Costner, for the love of the game, watch it. He pitches a no-hitter because he's in meditation for 9 innings. He's not there. He just clears the circuit. When you clear the circuit, you pitch the perfect game. And that's living forever. That's what this is about. Clear the mechanism. Still, God is die, which is the perfect unity between above and below. So there's no more needs for currents. There's no more need for wind. There's no more need for tides. There's no more need for movement. It's the stillness, perfection, and grace of Eden where you live eternally. Because that is perfection in balance. Balance. That's what it's all about. So you do the work so you can achieve this. He built it. But if you go there, if you build it, he will come. If you clean the cobwebs out and you go there, he will come. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. And then you'll never want to leave. And don't. For anyone or anything, don't you dare leave the hill. Up on the hill, people never stare. They just don't care. And unless you illuminate the hilltop, they never will care. One day, one of them will go, "What's that light up on the hill?" And if you didn't do that light, they would never have seen it. And that's why you have to do the work. And you will change the world one miracle at a time.
Beautiful. Thanks, Charlie. That was perfect. Yeah. Well, that's we're coming up on 90 minutes, so I think that's about time for today. This was just another just wow, just absolutely blown away. I love this. I love this. I love this. I love y'all. I love all of y'all. Wow,
Get to meet all these beautiful souls, and they're sharing their beautiful journey with us. Thank you so much. We are honored. We really are.
truly. Yeah. Um, so yeah, just some quick announcements at the tail end. So I'm gonna be starting up doing some channel showcases of people within the family of people that I've seen that are putting out good work and I want to give them an opportunity to speak about their channel and get the name out there. So starting Sunday, I'm gonna be doing my first one with Joel Schaefer. He started a channel recently and he's been just putting out some phenomenal work. So I'm gonna give him a quick show on Sunday at 5 p.m. and we're gonna be going over all what's on his channel and just going from there. And then yeah, and then next week we'll resume the show with Tony, the health show, the health Q&A on Wednesday. I wasn't able to do this past week because we had a power outage during that time, and so we just pushed until next week. But we'll resume that next week, and then I will be doing another channel showcase with Rebecca Dawn's channel, and she's another fantastic member of the family, and she's been putting out some great messages. So we'll be getting into that, and then. And yeah, and then Friday we'll be back here for the Q&A. I might do a Telegram live chat at some point next week, so stay tuned for that. And that's about all the upcoming announcements. So thank you all so much for being here. Yeah, we just we are so humbled and honored to be a part of this and get to just celebrate this beautiful experience with y'all.
Because we are the change that we want to see.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
All
God,
right.
so proud of all of us for doing the work. Takes courage, and you're full of courage. And again, to everyone that whether they watch our channel or not, who cares? But all the people that are standing up to the insanity in the world, for everyone. Oh, and a huge shout out, by the way, to Siobhan. Colleen and I have been so busy, so we haven't been doing the Music to Code shows, so we haven't been able to feature Siobhan. But our love and dedication to Siobhan has never wavered or altered. Siobhan is still in Ireland, and she's doing wonderful things, and she's really inspiring people to do things. I think she's still in Limerick, right? Mm-hmm. So, and she's really inspiring people to get out in public squares and speak their mind and stand up for their sovereignty. And so, Siobhan, if you're out there or when you come across this, we love you and we thank you so much for being so strong and encouraging others to find their sovereignty and to stand over, not under, this fake authority of governments is just crap. And so for all of you that are doing this, everywhere in the world, we're proud of you. We love you so much. And that's what this is all about. It's your government. It's your nation. And you're going to find out you don't need a government at all. But whatever for now, but it's yours. It's yours. You hold the power. The police only exist because you say that they can exist. And if they're not serving you, why would you allow them to continue to exist? You are the power, not some government. They're your representatives. So you stand up for your power, which is your sovereignty. And when you do that, God comes to you. Guaranteed, no matter where you are in your journey, God will come to you, because that's so important. Every time you exercise your sovereignty, which is freedom, that's your connection to God. So you must do this. We must all do this. And as you're doing it, we're with you. We're with you, brothers and sisters, because we're all from the same one Father and the same one Mother. We're all brothers and sisters. We love you. We're with you, and we're proud of you. Stand up. Don't harm anyone. You don't need to. Their system is fake. You don't need to do anything. Just don't stop letting them do business.
Just own your own power.
Go to the parliament buildings, block everything that they can do. Don't allow anyone to move you. If you're a million strong, there's not enough police in the world to be able to move you. So you're not going anywhere. Stop letting them do what they do, and they will collapse because they're an illusion. Take back your power. Don't move until they are ended, because they're out of gas. Do you have gas in your car?
They don't have oil in their lamp.
Jesus has gas in his car, but they don't. They're running on fumes, and they're about to be empty. And so stand up for your rights. You're with God, and God will be with you. I guarantee it. God will be with you. So with all of that, Justin, thank you, my brother.
And thank you for all the born day wishes.
Yeah, thank you. We love you so much for that. It's 3 days and 3 nights with us, because John F. We celebrate Junior's fake death, the resurrection, and then it's mine's the 17 and Colleen's the 18, 16, 17, 18. It's really beautiful. 7, 8, 9.
Perfect. All right, guys. Well, we love y'all so much, and we will talk to you next time.
Have a
Bye.
wonderful